all-time recipes, which is a lentil and quinoa salad. And the beauty about this salad is that you can take it to a party or a picnic. It doesn't have any mayonnaise in it, so it is actually a really great salad at room temperature. So first, we're gonna start with lentils. Lentils, a lot of people are confused about. They think that maybe they're like beans and you have to put them in water overnight, but you don't. They actually cook in about a half an hour. So we have 1.5 cups of lentils that we're gonna add to a saucepan, and we're gonna bring to a simmer in 2 cups of water. So join me over here. So again, that's 1.5 cups of lentils to 2 cups of water. We're gonna let this simmer for about 30 minutes until the lentils are tender, and we'll come back to them. We have the lentils cooking, the quinoa is cooked. Now we are going to make a dressing. So this is a super simple dressing, and it uses one of my favorite words, which is an emulsifier, which means it's gonna help to bind it together. So this starts off with 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. If you don't have red wine vinegar, by all means, you can use other things like apple cider vinegar or white vinegar. Try it out. That's the beauty of some vinegars, is that you can maybe try a flavor that is new to you, or maybe one that you have in your cupboard already. The next thing we're gonna add is that emulsifier, which is actually going to be Dijon mustard. This is what's gonna help the oil and the vinegar and the mustard to bind together. And so we have a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon of of Dijon mustard. And we have 1/4 cup of oil. This happens to be olive oil, but if you have vegetable oil, you can use that as well. So we're gonna take our whisk and we're going to mix this all together. And then we're going to add our oil slowly. We're going to drizzle it into the vinegar and the mustard. And we are going to create an emulsion, which is basically a salad dressing for our quinoa and lentils. Generally, what tends to happen with when you add vinegar and oil together is that they will separate, but that mustard allows it to come together. So you can see here we have one consistent dressing, not a dressing that's separated. That's hence the emulsifier from the mustard. And say you don't like Dijon mustard, you can try other mustards like brown mustard or yellow mustard. What I love about a dressing is you really have an opportunity to play with the flavors that you like the best. It really is 3 components. It's an emulsifier, a vinegar, and then also an oil. To finish our dressing, we're gonna add a few simple things to make the flavor really robust. That includes the lime zest that we had from earlier that I prepped. So that is the zest of 1 lime. That is only the green outside part of the lime. Next, we're gonna add a little bit of salt, about 1/2 teaspoon on a good measure with my fingers, and another 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. And the last thing to add to this is 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. Garlic powder is gonna add a lot of really nice garlicky flavor without having to chop it yourself. So again, we're just gonna give this a quick mix. These are the last enhancing flavors of the dressing that we will be using for our lentil and quinoa salad. Here we are. We have our cooked quinoa, our lentils that have been drained, and our dressing, and a few really yummy things that are gonna add additions to this salad. So I have the cooked quinoa. I'm going to add the drained lentils right here into this beautiful bowl. We're gonna give this a little zhuzh, or a little stir, to mix up the lentils and the quinoa. Again, this is an amazing salad that you can take to a party and keep out. It won't spoil like a mayonnaise-based salad, and it has a ton of really good flavor. Not only that, but it's packed with protein. So now we have this really yummy dressing that we made. Remember, red wine vinegar, olive oil, Dijon mustard with a little bit of garlic powder, salt and pepper. That's going in. Oh, this is just gonna add so much flavor to this dish. And then finally, we are going to add just 2 chopped green onions. That use both the whites and the greens of the green onion. And then finally, our last addition, if you like it, some people don't necessarily like it, some people do, is cilantro. So we have a tablespoon of fresh chopped cilantro. This salad is simply delicious and absolutely easy to put together. And oftentimes you're gonna have a lot of these things in your cupboard already. If you don't have green onion, by all means, you can use white onion and try that instead of a green onion. If you don't wanna add cilantro, you don't have to add cilantro. So the last thing to do with this dish, generally it's served at room temperature. It is a little warm right now, but I'm gonna give it a taste to see if it needs any additional salt or pepper. We did add salt and pepper to the dressing, but sometimes it might need a little more. And that way we control how much salt we are putting into our dish. So here we go, going in. One of my favorite dishes to have. That lime, just that little bit of lime zest adds so much flavor to this dish. It packs a punch when it comes to additional flavor. This to me is perfect. Enjoy.